Shout out to our sponsor, Blue Apron. For less than $10 per person per meal, Blue Apron delivers seasonal recipes with ingredients and step-by-step instructions that make cooking easy. Check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free with free shipping when you visit blueapron.com/theknow. Welcome to The Know, I'm Mika. It's been slow-ish as of late in the video game news cycle, so naturally, one of the biggest stories over the weekend was Super Mario Odyssey's file size, apparently. Nintendo revealed that Mario's next adventure clocks in at just under 6 gigabytes, and for some reason, that sparked a lot of talk on the internet, with some fans worried that it means the game is going to be light on content, and crazy enough, that's just how big the save files are for the just released NBA 2K18. However, it's also been noted by many that Nintendo generally keeps things locked down when it comes to compression. For comparison's sake, this year's massive Breath of the Wild was only 13 gigabytes, while Mario + Rabbids took up about 2.4 gigabytes of space. On top of that, previous Mario games like Super Mario Galaxy 2 have only been around 2 gigabytes as well. As always, we'll just have to wait and see just how much content is in the game, but judging from what we've already seen, there will be plenty of things to do and nipples to see. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was a huge breath of fresh air for open world games when it launched earlier this year, and at least one big fantasy franchise wants to try and emulate it. Final Fantasy XV director Hajime Tabata told GameSpot in a recent interview that the aim for the next Final Fantasy game is to give players the same feeling they got from Breath of the Wild. He said about the most recent Legend of Zelda game, "Our goals are probably to take that experience that players felt with Breath of the Wild, but with our own technology and our own know-how. We have in our disposal to create a very, very high quality game with a strong visual element to it, while creating a world that's really immersive and really beautiful. That's probably our goals in terms of what we want with our next project." Tabata also revealed that Final Fantasy XV has now moved more than 6.5 million units. So it sounds like we're getting a Final Fantasy XVI, and it's going to borrow some ideas from Breath of the Wild. All great news. It looks like we can finally stop updating on what new concurrent player record PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is broken because, well, there aren't any more of them left to break. The smash hit Battle Royale game just soared past the all-time concurrent player high set by Valve's Dota 2, with more than 1.3 million concurrent players on at the same time over this past weekend. So that makes it the most played Steam game of all time in terms of players, which is quite the feat in just a few short months after launch. The game also hit the milestone of 10 million copies sold last week, and judging from the Steam Spy data, it looks like it's already north of 11 million already this week. So next time we talk about some new record-setting stat the game will have, it'll run for president, it'll take over the world, probably one of those things, because what else could it do? Congratulations to all you PC gamers who have been waiting for a proper old school RPG to top the charts on Steam. It looks like Divinity Original Sin 2 has had a massive launch over the weekend. Larian Studios announced that the game sold nearly 500,000 copies in its first few days, a figure that took them nearly 2 to 3 months to hit the first time around. On top of that, the game also sported 85,000 players online at the same time at its peak. That's nothing compared to the games like, PUBG, of course, but it was enough to make it the number 4 top played game on Steam throughout the weekend, so that's not bad for an old school RPG made by a small crew. As for what's next, Larian Studios owner Sven Vink says, "As for the console versions, we're now focused on delivering our first patch for the PC version, something that is scheduled for this week. Lots of players means lots of support issues coming in, and we're trying to service them as fast as we can. After that, it'll be a long, well-deserved break for the team, and then we'll boot up our machines again to work on the next things." If all video games are feeling a bit samey to you lately, well, you might want to blame Ubisoft, because according to them, most other games are borrowing mechanics from them. These quotes come from Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot, who recently told Edge magazine that popular games like Breath of the Wild and Legend of Zelda have been using Ubisoft's open world style. Guillemot said, "It's interesting because The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild took a lot of things that existed in Far Cry and other Ubisoft games, but did them perfectly. The same system can be in 2 games and not be seen as the same thing. The job really is to make sure that you have a certain number of possibilities and that you are able to combine them in such a way that provides a great experience." He went on to talk about Breath of the Wild and how it used some of their gameplay systems as well. Now, the trick, according to Guillemot, is to figure out how to evolve them and give players even better experiences than what they can expect. It looks like Overwatch has claimed another victim, and not surprisingly, it's Battleborn, another hero shooter that unfortunately released around the same time as the Big O. This game has officially ended development with no future updates planned after this fall. Creative director Randy Varnell said in a post that the game is going into maintenance mode, writing, "Battleborn is here to stay. Nothing is changing with Battleborn, and the servers will be up and active for the foreseeable future. That means that Battleborn will keep functioning for its existing players, but nothing new will be added to it." Meanwhile, Varnell said he will play a significant role on a highly anticipated but unannounced game at Gearbox, which everyone thinks is Borderlands 3. So rip Battleborn. We'd make a reference to the game here, but we never played you, so. Stephen King's It continues to murder at the box office. After making a record-breaking $123 million in its debut weekend, it raked in another $60 million domestically this past weekend, which itself is a record-second weekend for a horror film. The movie has now pulled in $371 million worldwide, which is already one of the biggest box office hauls for any R-rated movie. Forbes called it the Force Awakens of horror movies, and a sequel is already in the works. So yeah, a pretty impressive debut, and it doesn't show any signs of slowing down. Two ex-Googlers learned a valuable lesson: don't mess with bodegas. The co-founders of a new startup have apologized after their venture was profiled in a Fast Company article titled, "Two ex-Googlers want to make bodegas and mom-and-pop corner stores obsolete." Their idea was to replace bodegas with boxes that are stocked with convenience store items. Lots of people accuse the startup of everything from celebrating gentrification to trying to run out mom-and-pop stores out of business. In their apology, the company said, "We apologize to anyone we've offended. Rather than disrespect to traditional corner stores, or worse yet, a threat, we intended only admiration." They added, "We commit to reviewing the feedback and understanding the reactions from today. Our goal is to build a long-term, durable, thoughtful business, and we want to make sure our name, among other decisions we make, reflects those values. Heads up, if you use the CC Cleaner security app, it might have malware in it." More than 2 million users of the app were asked to update the software after researchers found that hackers put malware in it that let them remotely control users' devices. Yikes! Ironically, CC Cleaner is used to get rid of crappy programs and bloatware, making this hack even more nasty. Reuters reports that the issue was discovered early and the hackers appeared to just be collecting info from infected machines rather than forcing them to install new programs. So while it sucks, hopefully not a lot of damage was done. If you use CC Cleaner, the developer says that all users should update to the latest CC Cleaner 5.34 version right away. So that is all the news we have for you today, and remember, for more news from this corner and that corner and all of the far reaches of the internet, remember to like this video, and if you are new around here, subscribe to The Know. Thanks to Blue Apron for sponsoring this update. Blue Apron helps you become a wonderkind in the kitchen. They offer new recipes for you to try every week with no weekly commitment, so you get deliveries when you want them. Every meal comes with step-by-step recipe card and all the highest quality ingredients you need to make your meal in 40 minutes or less. You can check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free with free shipping when you visit blueapron.com/theknow. There are some awesome meals too. Some of my personal highlights from the menu this week are the sweet and spicy beef, basil pesto spaghettini, and seared barramundi and sushi rice, which all sound amazing, especially spaghettini. Who knew that was the thing?